Have you ever posted something you know is so valuable, insightful, helpful, even inspiring, and yet nobody buys? Maybe you even get comments, likes, shares, and still your offers are not making sales. Then this video is for you. Because one of the most frustrating places to be as a coach or a creator or a service provider is knowing that you're good at what you do, knowing that your work changes lives, and still feeling like your content isn't reflecting that. And before we go any further, I want to say this very clearly. This is not a consistency problem. It's not an algorithm issue. And it's definitely not because you're missing some secret hook or trending audio. What's actually happening is that most people are creating content that is visible, but not decisive. And there is a massive difference between the two. So today I want to explain exactly why your valuable content isn't converting, the mistakes that most people make online that keep them stuck, and what it actually takes to turn your content into a high converting engine for your business. Because by the end of this video, you're going to understand what's missing and why the solution is more than just posting consistently or giving away free value. So let's first cover why your content can be valuable and still not convert. Because most people are not struggling because their content lacks value. That's the part that's frustrating. You are sharing content that is so valuable and insightful for your audience. You're saying things that help people think differently, feel seen, and take action in small ways. And yet, when it comes time to sell, nothing happens. And this is where a lot of creators start questioning themselves. They assume they're not good enough yet, or they're not experienced enough, or that they just need to learn more before they actually start selling. But the thing is much simpler and much harder to see. Most online advice teaches you how to communicate information. Very few people teach you how to communicate leadership. And information alone does not convert. What actually happens instead of this, you create content that is smart, helpful, well-structured, and it doesn't create movement. People save it, they send it to a friend, they comment, "This is so true," but they don't decide. And decision is the currency of sales. And this is why you can have people binge your content, tell you they feel like they know you, tell you that you're so inspiring, and still hesitate when it comes to buy. Because inspiration makes people feel good, but authority content makes people feel safe. And safety is what creates buying behavior. And here's what's really happening under the surface. A lot of valuable content lives at what I call the action level. Action level content tells people what to do. Post this, think this thought, shift this belief, use this framework. And again, there's nothing wrong with this. Action level content is necessary to post. It builds credibility and usefulness, but it also keeps your audience in student mode. When someone is in student mode, they're consuming, they're learning, they're collecting data and ideas. They're thinking, "This is so good, let me save this to come back to later." And people do not buy when they are learning. They buy when they are deciding. So decision level content does something very different. It doesn't just give someone something to do. It helps them decide who they are, what they're no longer available for, and who they trust to guide them forward. And this is the shift most creators never make. Another reason valuable content doesn't convert is because it's often neutralized. It's true, but it's safe. Insightful, but not directional. It's helpful, but not anchored to a point of view. So when your content is neutral, it doesn't challenge the identity your audience is currently operating from. It doesn't create tension. It doesn't create contrast between where they are and where they want to be. So even though it's valuable, it doesn't feel urgent. And urgency doesn't come from pressure. It comes from clarity. So when someone reads your content and they think, "She just said exactly what I've been feeling, but I couldn't put the name on it." That's activation. When they then think, "She clearly understands this at a deeper level than I do," that's authority. And when they think, "I want to be on the other side of this with her," that's embodiment. Most valuable content only hits the first layer. There's also a subtle but most critical issue I see all the time. It's over explaining. So when you feel the need to explain everything, justify every point, or make sure that no one is misunderstanding you, you unintentionally lower your authority. And leaders don't over explain. They name it. They speak strongly from a decision point of view. So if your valuable content sounds like trying to convince rather than declare, your audience will stay in observation mode instead of decision mode. This is why your content can be so good and still not compelling. So here's the reframe I want you to take with you. Value does not equal leadership. Leadership is not about how much you know. It's about how clearly you see and how confidently you guide others through this lens. When your content starts reflecting how you think, not just what you teach, people stop asking, "Is this helpful?" And they start asking, "How do I work with her?" And that's a shift from being seen to being sold. So let's dive into a few mistakes that people make with their messaging, with their content. And the first major mistake I always see over and over again is sounding like everyone else in your industry. If your messaging could belong to literally anyone in your niche, it won't create demand. When everything sounds like the same person, people actually just compare. And comparison is what kills buying decisions. People don't want another option. They want the one person that feels aligned with them. So demand is built through a clear point of view, through your own opinions, through being willing to say what works and what doesn't work, aka like controversial content. So when your message has a spine, people stop looking at the other options and they start choosing you because they can relate. They like what you have to say and they stand with what you believe in. And familiar language blends into the noise, but distinct language is what will always help you stand out. And the second mistake, messaging that is too broad and vague. So this could be, I help women grow their business, or this is for anyone who wants to make money. This sounds exclusive, but it actually creates distance. When your messaging is so broad, the person on the other side has to work to figure out if it's for them. And when your messaging's broad, your dream client won't see it as theirs. And people don't buy when they have to think. They buy when they feel recognized. Demand is created when someone feels like you're speaking directly to their current situation, to their frustrations, and to their internal dialogue. The more specific your messaging becomes, the safer it feels to buy. And safety is what leads to trust, and trust is what leads to sales. The third mistake is trying to be liked by everyone instead of followed. And this is posting to be liked. A lot of people are unconsciously writing content to avoid criticism or rejection. They soften their messaging, water down their opinions, or avoid clear call to actions because they want people to feel good about them. But here's the reality of it. Your dream clients don't hire you because they like you. They hire you because they feel certainty in your leadership. When your content prioritizes clarity, authority, and perspective over likes, you stop competing with the noise and you start standing out as someone who can actually guide them to the results that they're looking for. So if your content is valuable but not converting, it's not a reflection of your worth or your expertise. It's the way your content is being positioned and received. So valuable content alone is not enough. It must communicate leadership, create identity-based decisions. It must challenge your audience in the right way, and it must signal trust without forcing it. So when your content is only educational, helpful, or inspiring, it leaves your audience in observation mode. They consume, they engage, they think this is helpful, but they don't buy, because buying requires a shift in decision, not just a shift in knowledge. If this is resonating with you, I want to invite you to go deeper with my masterclass, From Seen to Sold. In this training, I don't just talk about posting content. I show you exactly how to turn your post into a system that creates demand, builds trust, and converts your audience into paying clients. Inside the masterclass, I'll break down the biggest mistakes most creators make, the same ones that keep valuable content from actually generating sales. And then I walk you step by step through the magnetic messaging framework, which is designed to help you clarify your positioning so that your audience knows exactly why they should follow and buy from you. Communicate your value with authority without over-explaining or trying to be liked, and how to show up confidently on social media in a way that naturally attracts your dream clients. On top of that, I reveal the 3 types of content that actually drive sales and how to create them in a way that feels authentic to your brand. You'll see how each of the type of content serves a specific purpose in your audience's journey, helping them move from simply seeing your post to actively deciding that they want to work with you. And by the end of this masterclass, you'll not only understand the mistakes you may be making with your current content, but you'll also have a clear framework for creating posts that will consistently generate leads and revenue. It's going to be practical, actionable, and designed for service providers and coaches who are ready to stop leaving sales on the table. You can grab this masterclass by heading to the link in the description below. And here's the bottom line. Your content is only as powerful as the strategy behind it. You can have the most valuable ideas, the most polished posts, and the best advice in your niche. But if your messaging isn't magnetic and your content is not designed to guide your audience towards a decision, it's not going to convert. And that's why I created From Seen to Sold, because this masterclass is not just theory. It's about giving you a complete system from understanding the mistakes that are holding you back to implementing the magnetic messaging framework and using the 3 types of content that actually generate sales for you. And everything is designed to help you stop posting aimlessly and start showing up with authority, clarity, and confidence so that your audience doesn't just see your content, they decide they need to work with you. So I hope this has been helpful. Please make sure that you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.